what do you think dog owners can do right now to help prevent the likelihood of separation anxiety from happening after lockdown? You know,
Well,
what can they do to prepare them right now for when things are more relaxed, whenever that may be?
I mean, and as you've just said it, really, right now is the right time to start. So I would say, let's not wait until we've got a problem before we start preempting the new routine. So we may not know what shape that routine might be, but we do know, okay, I am going to be out of the house more again. Maybe I was before, and they had to adjust one way to get used to me being around, and now they've got to adjust another way. Now it's obviously summer holiday as well for the schools, or on its way. So I think that's a slightly trickier one if you've got children as well. But I would say starting now rather than waiting. So if you know you're going to be possibly going back to work this week, next week, the week after, start now anyway, because it's all about routines. It's all about a new routine that you're trying to get them to adapt to, rather than a sudden contrast change, because that's something that they will really notice, and they may or may not cope. You know, we don't want to be stuck in a sink or swim situation with them, because that on the whole might cause them a lot of stress. So I would start to reduce the time that they are dependent on us. So in other words, if, like, it's very easy, isn't it, to just sit there, even if you're at your home desk with the dog on your knee or the cat on your lap or whatever, is to start just not always doing that as much, not trying to deny them contact, but just having times where you're there but you're not available. So that might just be that, you know, you give them plenty of distractions, you put on your normal noise that you used to put out, like if you normally switch on the radio, and you accompany that with a relaxation time for them where they are separated from you somehow. But you might be either in the next room or upstairs, or they might be upstairs. So they've got their safe haven that you're quite happy for them to be in, where their bed is, where their water is, you know, but that you aren't 100% available at that point. So starting with that now is quite easy. And then what you can do while you're there is monitor them, because you're there and you can hear them. If you do have a little camera set up, you don't have to spend a lot of money. Like I say, if you've got an old smartphone of any sort, or just another laptop around the house, or just anything that's got a camera on it, there are apps that are free and you can link them, so you can actually keep a little eye on them. Some people don't like to do that because they feel they get a bit obsessed, but you can then watch what they're up to. That's reassuring, because you can see if they are panting, pacing, looking at the door. You know, it doesn't have to be extreme, but are they, or do they just kind of go, you know, fast asleep, which is really what we want. You know, they chew their chews and whatever. So if you've set that up, and then you do that at the times of day normally that you might be not there, then that helps them to kind of just adapt a little bit while you're there. And then when you're not there, it's not such an obvious thing. So I probably wouldn't announce to my pets that I'm going any more than I would announce that I was home, because I don't want to make it into a big deal. I want to make it a matter of fact part of the day. Now, we don't know how much impact that has on them, but I just think the more low-key and, you know, ordinary you can make things, the better for them. And, you know, like I've mentioned many times, tired dogs aren't bored. You know, a tired dog that's been out, you know, you have to get up earlier, you've got to take them out, but they'll come back and they'll conk out, or they'll be more likely to. So it's something that we have to build into our new routine. So it's not just get up and hang around in your slippers and go to the home office and walk the dog in the afternoon. It might be, okay, on my work day, you know, I'd get up, I'd take the dog out. I'd go, you really need to start doing that now. You know, because I think all of those things will build up to be a very nice new routine that then can continue when you're actually not in the house.
Yeah, actually, that's again some really good points there. So just to go through quickly, you're saying start now, initiate more disconnection whilst you're at home when you can, and you can monitor. Use a monitor. Really great advice about that. Use an old iPhone, because I think most people would think, I've got to go out and buy something that's ridiculously expensive. Try to improve future routine as much as you can. And this is where I fall down. Don't make a big announcement. That tends to be my go-to routine, which I'll try to change. Don't make it a big deal, keep it low key, and if you can, get up earlier in the morning and take your dog out for exercise before your daily routine starts. Is that about right?
Yeah, and I think what I'd also do is when if you're sort of feeling like, but I like saying goodbye, why not say goodbye by giving them the things that are going to occupy them when you're gone. So, for example, in our household, when we go up to bed, the dogs all get a biscuit. You know, that's what happens. They all run to their bed. They can't wait for their biscuit, you know, because they're going to get a biscuit. Now, we're going off up the stairs, which they might not particularly love, but they love the fact that they're getting a biscuit, because that means, you know, yes, you are about to go, but I'm getting something. So yeah, that is obviously a very quick thing. But what I might do is, you know, provide them with a longer lasting toy with some more things inside that will take them a while to get out. But you need to check what you're giving them, obviously, because it needs to be safe. And if you've got more than one dog, we don't want any battles, of course. But it's about building up the kind of the shores of against disappointment, you know. So when you're gone and they like you, they're disappointed and they can be frustrated because they can't get to you anymore. So what we want is to go, well, it doesn't matter that I've gone. What matters is you get these things to do. And then they kind of think, oh, like, you know, that's good, actually, to go, because I want this thing. So I'd much rather my dog felt like that.
Giving them something that is, so as a reward, but as you say, quite rightly, it has to be safe, because if you're not going to be there, we don't want a choking hazard.